So let's talk about this. Derrida, the main event. Derrida versus Brendan Allen. So Derrida's on in the UFC 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, last time had that win over Robert Whittaker. There was a lot of talk of him being next in line and fighting for the belt. Now he's going up against Brendan Allen. Brendan Allen has the skills to really cause problems for Derrida. He's very well-rounded. He's a tremendously talented grappler.
Yep.
Not being offensive to him. It's this side of things that seems to get Brendan Allen. He seems to, the mental side, he seems to struggle a little bit, and he kind of gets in his own way. Got a good win over Mark Torrey back in July. Before that, he lost to Fluffy, where Fluffy's just a monster and beats everyone. And before that, Imavov in Paris. Started off really good, if I remember rightly. Got a takedown early, but then again, he just kind of mentally broke as the fight progressed, and Imavov beat him by a decision. So it's not an easy fight for Derrida. But if Derrida gets this done, and I believe on the ground, Derrida is a problem for everybody.
Of course.
He's massive for the weight class. He's got a very unconventional, weird, goofy, awkward timing, striking style.
Yeah, it is.
He's got knees to the midsection.
It is goofy. It is goofy, but it is effective. It is effective. And I spent a lot of time with Rob Whittaker in Perth when I was there calling the fights, and I got to talk to him a little bit about that fight. And I was just like, how difficult is it to deal with that guy? He's like, bro, it's so fucking hard to figure him out and his timing. And the knees and just the way that he fights, you don't know what you're getting at any point in that fight. And Brendan, I trained with for a long time at Rufus Sport when he was there as a young guy. I saw him basically go from a regional level MMA fighter to Contender Series to UFC, all while I was training with this young man. And when he's on, he is unbelievable, and he has got all the skills absolutely everywhere that you would need to be good in mixed martial arts. He's a great striker. He's got unbelievable grappling. He's got good wrestling. He's got a good gas tank, too. Like, he's a gamer. He's got a great chin. He's been knocked out, but, I mean, here and there, like Sean Strickland hurt him with a bad shot. Like, he's a adorable dude. But again, I do think it's the focus. Are you mentally on track in your outside life and everything else? If that's the case, and he took this fight, he wanted this fight, so I'm hoping that means that he's ready for this fight. But it should be a really interesting stylistic matchup between these two, because on the feet, technically, I think Brendan is far superior in his overall striking capabilities. But those fucking knees that Derrida throws at people, really game changer.
The knees, and I think everything he throws with a lot of power. He's massive for the division. He's huge. A huge frame. He's got a lot of leverage, a big wingspan. He's like, because we spoke to him in Paris at the post-fight show, and he's like, he's a big dude, man. He was way bigger than me, and I'm today 231 pounds. But by the next podcast, which we might do one Thursday, by the way, Paul, you'll be in Vancouver, but I told you last week, we're getting back on track. We're getting back on track, and we might be back to 2 a week very, very soon. By Thursday, I'm going to be back down to 220. That's a fact. Okay. But no, he's big. He's strong. Did Whittaker mention his strength? Did he say he's strong?
Yeah, I think he did say he was pretty strong, if I remember correctly. But yeah, just the awkwardness is a big thing he talked about, and trying to time a guy like that.
What's going on in the middleweight division? Hamzat, we haven't had. Who's he fighting next? Have we had any talk of anything?
Well, no, I think a lot of it is, obviously Imavov is out there after his win, beating Kyle Bahayo. And then I think the eyes were really on this fight when it was originally Fluffy. Now it's RDR and Brendan. I don't think Brendan's jumping the line if he gets a win over RDR. But if RDR wins impressively, I think he can clearly make his claim for that shot. I don't know if he'll get it over Imavov, but he can certainly make an argument.
I think if RDR gets a win, and I'll just throw it out there, no offense to Brendan, he's great. I think he does. I think he wins this fight. I think RDR beats Brendan Allen. If he gets the shot next, it'd be almost sod's law for Hamzat Chimaev, because out of everyone at 185, RDR is the guy that's got the most stylistic problems for Khamzat Chimaev.
You don't think it would have been Fluffy if he was healthy?
I was just going to say there's Fluffy as well.
But without him, yeah.
But RDR, if he gets taken down, he's got the guard, he's got the sweeps, he's got the jiu-jitsu. Probably welcomes getting taken down. You know, it'll be an interesting matchup because outside of that, I mean, Dricus ain't going to get a shot anytime soon. Imarvov, yeah, he'd be a problem. He would. He's not easy to beat. The hand speed last time against Berhalio was
impressive,
ridiculous. Strickland's talking shit, calling for a fight with Khamzat. I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Is he? We're not going to see that. It's Hernandez and RDR. If RDR is victorious. Brian and Harrington, I've got RDR. Do I say decision? No. It's 5 rounds. I think 5 rounds, RDR catches him in some form of submission.
Yeah, I think Allen has a puncher's chance for certain at winning this, but I think they both end up getting mauled by Khamzat if that's their next fights. I think either one of them.
I can't pick against RDR simply because, I mean, he has a win over Robert Whittaker. And I feel like once you've gotten to that level, that just means more to me as a fan. Whereas, like, I feel like every time I've seen Brendan come up to that level of challenge and competition, he's shrunk in the moment. But I do think if anyone's going to do it outside of Khamzat, it's going to be Brendan Allen because, as Paul said, that awkward style, he's not afraid to go to the ground with RDR either. You know, like he loves grappling with these dudes. So, you know, if it's 2 grapplers in there, we always say it turns into a striking fight. And I like Brendan Allen's hands a little bit better.
And I know it's not the same type of level with RDR and like Paul Craig, but when Brendan fought Paul Craig, I mean, he demolished him on the mat. And that was a guy that was like, oh, you go to the ground with Paul Craig, he can catch you in a submission. And he was just like, yeah, fuck that. I don't care. I'm going to beat your ass. But Fluffy, the same thing happened. They both grappled quite a bit. And he, again, 2 times on the regional scene and then in the UFC was able to out-grapple him. I think that's why Fluffy truly is the only one really that is the threat that is now missing from this puzzle because he's injured.
I think, though, the fact this is a main event, I think the fact it's 5 rounds, there's a lot of pressure on Brendan Allen. We have seen him struggle under those situations. Doesn't mean you can't improve. Doesn't mean you can't, you know, get a handle on that, work with a sports psychologist, do a lot of visualization and stuff like that. Doesn't mean you can't alter that. But in the past, we have seen that affect him. So for those reasons, I've got RDR. All right, let's take a second and thank one of our sponsors on today's show, Sheath Underwear. Sheath makes the most comfortable boxer briefs that I've ever worn. If you're sick of boxers that are too loose or briefs that are too tight, Sheath is for you. Sheath Underwear is the best. Get 1 pair and it's going to change your life. The most comfortable boxer brief that you will ever put on your body. Plus, they have brand new materials like bamboo and mesh for even more cooling comfort. Go to sheathunderwear.com, get the most comfortable underwear that you'll ever wear. Use the promo code BELIEVE20 and you'll get 20% off your order. That is sheathunderwear.com. Code is BELIEVE20 for 20% off your order.